Tiny Cross-H.U.G on a Trumped Up Live show. Today I want to go into just some speech, right? With regards to this individual. This individual is considered to have one of the most daring speeches against the leftist parties when it comes to this whole immigration issue, right? I want to go over here to the lab, tune y'all in to this speech. Um, See what y'all think about it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's saying a lot of stuff that you can deem true or not true. I'm gonna allow you to take a hint into what it's talking about.
A Christian man who actually cares about his country. God bless him and the people of Pennsylvania. Amen to this.
It's Mike Fody, and I'm from Buckingham Township, and I honestly don't know what country I'm living in anymore. You made this statement, of course, you've heard it so many times tonight. People violate the laws anytime they want. And you said it so cavalierly, so arrogantly. Of course, Mr. Harvey voted with you. Can you look at me, please? You disrespected the other voters. Thank you. A little respect. You know,
Man, he's hitting it off well, real well from the jump, isn't he?
I agree. You don't get punished anymore. That's where the country is because of the losing liberal left policies. One state steal less than $900, it's okay. I go to Home Depot the other day to buy a tool, it's locked up. I asked the guy why. Oh, they come in shopping carts, they load it up, and we can't stop them. We're not allowed to do anything. They're the garbage policies you people endorse, okay? Oh.
Man, I don't know what he's talking about because they've been already doing that type stuff to black people for years. So it ain't just an immigration problem.
But you know what? If you're a conservative Christian grandmother and pray outside an abortion clinic, you get 10 years under the FACE Act.
That's a fact. Yeah.
And I've always recognized in this current time how individuals who commit violations against whether it's a corporation or a people in the United States actually, don't have a fear of being deported.
That's really fair, isn't it? So let me tell you something. Thank God on January 20th, there's a new sheriff in town.
Amen.
I know this pains you losing liberals, but you're going to have to get some TDS training. It's called Trump derangement syndrome. Because there's not going to be any more DEI. There's no more men and women's sports. There's no more men and women's locker rooms. Can you imagine your junior high daughter self-conscious about her body and she has to change or take a shower next to a naked man?
I don't see how anybody could agree with that. I mean, male and females both have hormones, and I tend to think that, just from my experience as being a boy, that boys are a lot more curious about the female anatomy than other dudes. But I can't even say that at this time because, man, there's so much going on out here in the world nowadays. I have nothing against individuals who being gay, I might add. I'm not myself. However, I know for one thing's for sure, if I had a daughter who was out here being that young, my duty as a father is to protect her from the, hormonal attributes of a boy to actually want to take on that experience with the female due to the fact that the consequences from the elevated experience will be that much harsh on my daughter, right? So, whew.
These are the sick policies you people endorse. So that's gone. There's not going to be any more rapists and murderers coming over the border. And I just got word that the killer rapist, illegal immigrant, just got sentenced for killing Laken Riley. See, that's something you should cheer for, guys, not just look at me. No more illegal aliens on the voter rolls. That was a great one.
So you just got to recognize that this is how they not taking it serious. How they just, going about like, okay, we're going to suffer this. We're going to suffer this, pain and for our agenda that we know necessarily is wrong. We know it's wrong. But we're going to suffer these pains knowing that it's individuals in this country being hurt from the open border policies that, we've been experiencing, particularly over the last, 4 years under the Biden administration when he was in office. But you know what I really think that is a real concern um, is that these bunch of people that just came over here, right? And let's just be honest about this. That the ones who just came over here most recently really messed it up for the individuals that been over here. And I think that's what the true problem is with this whole situation, that these individuals that came over here most recently during the Biden administration had the least respect for the country with regards to the opportunities that this country was really supposed to provide for them. Um, it's one thing for you to come over here to the country, not to necessarily exploit it, but you come over here for the country with the idea that the country being in here is going to be the best for you and your family. Not necessarily to come over here, say, I'm going to use this country for the its compassion towards individuals that it has. Use the system, abuse the system. Don't care about the system at all. As long as I am able to, you know, work it. Not work it in a good way, but work it however way I can. Even if I didn't have a means of going about things legally from where I came from, um, I'm gonna take what I know from out there, from where I come from, and I'm gonna bring it out here. Not looking for the compassion to getting something honest. That's where a lot of the problems lie. And I do generally and sincerely believe that the individuals that was over here that voted for Trump, not necessarily just that they just didn't want Kamala Harris to be in office as a black woman, but they generally and sincerely knew what was coming. And they generally and sincerely themselves was like, man, don't let them no more of them people over here. They gonna mess it up for us. They are going to mess it up for us. Stop them people. Please stop them people because, man, you know what I'm saying? They gonna take away opportunities for me too. Hey,
Wasn't it? You're fighting to put them back on. That's just great. But you know what? I know it pains you, but thank God Donald J. Trump is going to reverse it all. And by the way, please stay with these policies because 80% of Americans don't want them, never did, but you guys are too dense to understand.
80% of Americans. That is a big fight for the Democrats to handle. Now, you might see these protests going on and about, and there's a lot of evidence that's coming out right now with regards to these protests being funded by foreign organizations. I want to do a video regards to that. Um, People that's like staying in China is pretty much funding these individuals to go out here and protest. So, but that is a big fight that the Democrat Party has got to figure out because you got 80% of the population that's really serious about how they feel so disrespected, not only from their own government, which is the leftist side of the government, but with regards to the individuals that's been coming over here. Now, one thing I can say, honestly, since this whole immigration issue has came up, I have seen a lot more respect from individuals that have come over to this country and migrated. Now that they know that, particularly from my stance, because I don't know how they treated black people from wherever they come from, but in a lot of other countries, you find that black people are, at the bottom of the totem pole. So they come over here already with the high standard that they are above the ladder, above you. That is for those of you who are black. However, it comes a point to where um, people have just got to realize that all's with so much coming over here. And sometimes these protests, particularly in LA, you really recognize how they don't respect the country as well as they should be, right? Um, from waving flags, however, from tearing up state property and governments and stuff like that. One thing's for sure, and this is why I hope that generally I don't want to see any black people get involved in this, because one thing's for sure, this is not the 1992 rise.
Understand this country is founded on Christian values. Thank you.
That was
Okay, so that was the end of that. A whole lot was said by that individual in a short span of time. That video is over a year old. However, it was so potent that if you just watch the whole video without necessarily getting my interruption, I think it'll be a lot better. But it was a whole lot to think about, from crime to just, the percentage of Americans who feel the same way, to how the Democratic Party is consistently shoving stuff down our throats with their policies. And so it's something to really think about and consider. Why are we, I'm going to put it like as Trump said, why are we being looked at, or why are we being used as a platform for your ideas, and ideas that generally the majority don't want? It'd be crazy, bro, for me to allow my daughter into a man's restroom. You know what I'm saying? It'd be crazy to believe that DEI was necessarily for black people. Black people are the poster child of DEI, that we're really like the last people on the totem pole when it becomes to receiving it. So it's just sad on a part to where the Democratic Party has gotten themselves into. If you just notice that they don't just care about you, to the point that where this man had to talk to these individuals like this, and they still, as you see in the video, didn't have a respect for his concerns. Tiny Cross-H.U.G on the Trumped Up Live Show. Always remember, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Always remember also, it's a good day to be a soldier.